ISIS, also known as the Islamic State of Syria and Iraq, has been around since early 2004 and since has had a partnership with Al-Qaeda. ISIS became what it is today because of former Prime Minister al-Maliki, who was a Shiite of Iraq. The day after the U.S. unoccupied Iraq and left al-Maliki in charge, he went after and, believing in ethnocentrism, wiped out many Sunni, including all who had political power, and some of ISIS, beginning his own command economy. These Sunnis fled Iraq with intentions of finding shelter in Syria, starting Syria versus Iraq. While Syria already had problems of its own, the president, Bashar al-Assad, was killing and slaughtering his own people because of opposition. This opposition became known as the Free Syrian Army and began fighting Assad before ISIS came into play. While ISIS hated al-Maliki, they also despised Assad because he was a Shiite too. They started fighting Assad and also started taking the land of Syria to become a more powerful unit. So the Free Syrian Army had to fight ISIS also to stay alive and keep their homes. This all-out waged war with ISIS in the middle, fighting the government of Iraq, the president of Syria, and the Free Syrian Army began in 2014. While the Free Syrian Army was against Assad and ISIS, Assad was fighting ISIS and the Free Syrian Army. And over in the distance, the Shiites of Iraq fighting ISIS alone. In the end, having ISIS connecting these two nations in one humongous conflict, resulting in 600,000 people that have been affected by this, and losing homes, being killed, and starvation. All of this violence falling under the category of discrimination against these cultures, all taking place for now in Syria and Iraq. Centripetal force pulling them together is the need for power. The centrifugal force separating them is the disagreements on political power and views. Syria and Iraq are both states having territory with one government, including several cultures. Assad has been president of Syria since 2010, a whopping 5 years, and Maliki from 2006 to 2014. The current government of Iraq has been in business for about 1 year. They all take part in having an ethnographic cultural boundary. While the boundaries have changed, borders have not. In Iraq and Syria, the different ethnicities are Kurds and Arabs. While religion is just mainly Islam, having not so much as political, but for religious dimensions, the regular Islam and Islamic extremist ISIS are all there mainly are. It's true. The parties are still out there in war, and conflict has stayed the same. But news is constantly upon them. But sadly, none of these groups have had allies or countries intervene. And this war continues on to this day. The end.